All Things Motoring, brought to you by ChangeCars and proudly sponsored by WeBuyCars. Selling, advice, finance, insurance. That's why WeBuyCars is number one. Coming up this week on All Things Motoring, Mike wraps up his scenic adventure in Clarens, while Ernest returns with a nostalgic look at the Chevy Lumina. This is a show with power, passion, and pure South African character.
LDV, has there ever been a more apt name for a vehicle in South Africa than LDV?
They actually got very impressive performance figures. It's a 2-litre turbo diesel, 160 kilowatts, 500 newton meters, which is very impressive.
Moving on to the interior, again, very, very good. Sitting in the driver's seat, absolutely superb. The speedo is not digital, but on the center, you got your fuel range, you've got your mileage covered, what gear you're in, whether you're 4 high, 4 low. I like that. Ergonomically, superb. On looks alone, I'm giving it 10 out of 10, and the absolute victor, no competitors. This is the one that I've really been looking forward to, the Foton. Marius Small and the full CMH team, you bring this car into South Africa, you're reaping the rewards of deserved success. You've got a fantastic product here. It's superbly well priced, coming in at 399,000 Rand for the entry double cab, going up to 599 for the top of the range that I'm in with a sunroof, 4x4. Absolutely superb vehicle.
Once again, see how comfortable I can get. It's got reach adjustable, it's got height adjustable, pedal shifts.
Immediately I get in this car, it's comfortable. The seats are electrically controlled. I've got a left armrest. My right arm is exactly where I want it on the windowsill. Absolutely superb.
Bakkies and double cabs have a tendency, especially on our traditional corrugated roads, especially when they're unladen, is they tend to get a little bit twitchy at the rear.
Road noise, 0. Wind noise, literally minimal and exactly what you'd expect at 110 kilometers an hour. The road is very, very corrugated, so you're naturally getting the movement on the steering wheel. How would I rate this vehicle? Hello, my name is JAC. Stop, you had me at hello. The moment I got in this car and adjusted my seat, because everybody's got a different seating position, very, very low. I don't know how people drive like that.
Not low enough, and I'm on the lowest setting, so I just feel I'm a little bit too high behind the wheel.
The JAC has gone with the concept that a lot of the Chinese brands have gone with a big center screen. But what I like here, they have not gone for this touchscreen iPad tablet looking. They've gone for a touchscreen integrated looking unit. Ergonomically, interior, absolutely 10 out of 10.
Now, the manufacturers today have really sorted out the front steering. I mean, it's a very complex piece of equipment. You've got camber, you've got caster, you've got tow.
I'm going to give this vehicle 2 scores. One is its actual score, and the second is its moral score. based on its price, and it's batting way above where it's playing. First one is a real score, 6.5. Second one is the adjusted score, 9. JAC, hats off, you've got something special. Open disclosure, got nothing against GWM, but never been the biggest fan, and more to do with management and how they deal with customer complaints and our lack of a relationship with GWM. However, that will never cloud my judgment on any manufacturer's product.
So my final vehicle for the off-road section, and we've done about 110 kilometers of gravel road, rocky road, mud, sand, corrugations around the back of the Golden Gate National Park, is the GWM P500.
The GWM P300 was very, very decent, a little bit smaller than this, and maybe that's the difference. The 500 is streets ahead. Where the 300 didn't blow me away, the 500 feels absolutely top-notch.
Prefer it to the 300. It just feels a more planted, more stable.
Now, the question is, would I recommend and would I buy this bakkie? The first part is easy. I recommend it regularly. Would I buy it? Most definitely not. While it's great and it does nothing wrong, it just does not talk to me. However, bear in mind, people are different, and my views may be very different to the views of those who bought it. However, I do believe this vehicle deserves the success it's getting.
Coming up after the break, Ernest returns with a nostalgic look at the Chevy Lumina.
Your favorite exercise? My favorite exercise is a cross between a lunge and a crunch. I call it lunch.
All Things Motoring is sponsored by WeBuyCars. Looking to sell your vehicle? WeBuyCars is the right option, always.
It's the early 2000s and Chevy is back in South Africa with another V8. You see, back in the day it was Ford versus Chevy, and everybody had their 2 liters of brandy and their 1 liters of Coke. Or was it 1 liter brandy, 2 liters? Anyways, they had brandy and they had Coke and they had Chevys and they had Fords. And they also had V8s, something that South Africans were kind of lacking for a long, long time. You can thank the fuel crisis for that one. Now, in the 2000s, though, fuel prices were slightly lower, and thanks to Holden in Australia, this was now available in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Holden Commodore / Chevy Lumina, and you're watching Retro Review. This car is based on Holden's Commodore. Now, the Holden was built specifically in Australia, and it was built also for the export market, which is why, if you look at that center console over there, it's symmetrical, which means that this car can be developed for left-hand drive markets as well. And this one over here belongs to Traction Driving Experiences. They've loaned it to me today under the proviso that there is no drifting happening, because it's booked for an event this weekend. But drift it can. This car, along with its Ford counterpart in Australia, pioneered the hooning movement, where drivers would make lots and lots of smoke at the rear wheels because everybody else drove boring front-wheel drive shopping carts. But back to South Africa, this also became quite the icon, including the Ute version, which has the bakkie section on the back, surprisingly. It was an instant hit in South Africa, and no surprises. This one has got the 6-litre V8 engine, and the previous gen has the 5.7-litre V8 engine. Both of those making power between 250 and about 300 kilowatts. Now, those same engines can be found in many, many other cars, including Corvettes. This one comes with 18-inch wheels and is fitted with 245 tires, which aren't that low profile, so the ride is actually quite comfortable. Then there's the styling, that old school sedan styling. And if anybody saw this car with that picture on the side, all you think is Aussie V8s. And that's exactly what helped make this car popular. The Aussie V8 scene where Ford and Holdens would battle it out, and each manufacturer waving their flags proudly as the Holdens went on to win another championship. Think Mark Scaife, SVG, Winterbottom, the list goes on. All the names that helped make that scene iconic was now suddenly available in South Africa. Where the previous gen was smoother and rounder, and honestly the one that I preferred, this one was more angular and aggressive, including this wing at the back. And just look at these lights back here, perfectly period correct, a la Lexus. And then there were the clues of what lay beneath the beast. The SS badge on the back was one of those clues, and of course, the quad pipes. And who would leave those quad pipes stock standard? Traction certainly didn't. So you may have guessed that this car isn't exactly standard, and it's not. It's got performance cams, it might have a little bit of software on it, so it does make over 300 kilowatts, which is quite a bit more than the standard 270. Now, the automatic version of this car actually only made 260 kilowatts because of something. Chevrolet said that they needed to make it less. We've seen that happen from time to time in South Africa. The one you want, though, is this, the manual version if you want to be doing performance driving. But I can't help but think that the auto version might be slightly better for cruising. In fact, I think the automatic's ergonomics might be better. Inside, the Holden came very nicely spec'd. You've got curtain airbags, you've got controls on the steering wheel, air conditioning, of course, and lots of legroom at the back. It was a very well spec'd out car, especially for the price. You could get this brand new for just over 300,000. And now, if you scoured the second-hand market, you could pay as little as 180,000 for an example. A very good example would set you back between 300 and 600,000. This one here has just 100,000 kilometers on the clock, and it's a very rare manual version. The Lumina V8, of course, does have a hooligan side to it. And when you come to a tunnel such as this one, you can't help but explore the hooligan inside. That is loud. So, what's the Lumina like to drive around in traffic? Well, this one does have cams in it, so it's not ideal. But I can't help but think that this was the kind of car that you didn't really want to be stuck in traffic with anyways. You want to find yourself an open piece of road and go exploring the wide expanses of South Africa, which incidentally can be quite similar to the wide expanses of Australasia. The steering is relatively light, but also quite heavy at times, especially when you're trying to park, and you can feel that this is a big, heavy car when you're trying to pull away. For such a V8 type engine, it does rev quite high and quite quickly. This one over here can rev higher than the RPM limit, but it's been set down for longevity because this car has to do lots and lots of work on the drift track. There were many cars that never came to South Africa, that were never imported or sold here. You can just think of the Hachiroku, you can think of some of the earlier M3 models and many, many other cars, but I'm thankful that the V8 Lumina made it this way. But before long, Holden had closed shop and have decided that the Lumina wasn't worth making anymore, and neither were any of the other cars. And so the knock-on effect meant that South Africans no longer could get this incredible car. Yes, we had the Ford Falcon, but that wasn't quite as popular. This is a car from a bygone era, and of course, it will be missed. For now, I'm seeing a Raptor parked at the back there, and that's about as close as us South Africans are going to get for now to the Holden Commodore and, of course, the Chevy Lumina.
Coming up after the break, all good things come to an end in the beautiful surrounds of Clarens. Did you know? The Chevrolet Lumina SS was sold in South Africa between 2004 and 2012 and was essentially a rebadged version of the Australian Holden Commodore. It quickly became iconic for delivering enormous performance at a price point that few Europeans or Japanese rivals could match. The initial models featured the rugged 5.7-litre LS1 V8 engine, familiar from the Corvette producing around 250 kilowatts. Its immediate appeal was simple: a large, comfortable family sedan that could easily outrun almost anything else on the road, all while maintaining a relatively low-key, non-premium appearance. Perhaps the most beloved variant was the Lumina Ute SS Utility. This offered the same monstrous V8 performance packaged into a two-door utility vehicle, creating a unique and highly practical performance bakkie that remains extremely sought after today. All things motoring in proud association with SA's largest motoring brand, WeBuyCars, better than anyone else.
So for absolute transparency, Doug, you represent GWM 4-Way, so it's not like you're biased or anything, not that you insisted we stand in front of a P-Series 500. Of the vehicles, yeah, if I had to say to you, your top three.
In our lineup here, I got to drive 7 of the 10.
Right.
The Hilux was a platform above on the cars that I drove.
Right.
I didn't get to drive the
So you're putting a
Amarok.
Hilux first?
The Hilux
Right.
first, yeah. And I am biased, but this was pretty much
The 500?
the second one, yes.
And who rounds out the top three?
I would go with the ones that I drove, I'd go back to the JAC, even though I didn't get that 100% ergonomic feel in it.
Incredible. Now think about that. JAC, a new entrant, Chinese, well-priced, top three. Well done, you're doing something right. So let me assure you, it's not a coincidence that we stand in front of the Toyota Hilux. I know this was your favorite. So before we speak about the Hilux, is there anything else that impressed you?
The P-Series,
Which one?
P300.
The 300?
The 300, sure.
Nice. So now we know the P300, we know the Hilux, which is the third one that really impressed you.
The Nissan Navara.
Yes! Buddy, tell me, you've had the opportunity of driving all of these cars. Anything that stood out for the wrong reasons for you?
The LDV, to me, it was a bit all over the
It
place.
felt a little bit loose.
Yes, it was very loose, light at the back.
But the car looks good.
It's very good.
Car looks
and
good.
it's got a lot of power.
Right.
You know, the top three in my list: Amarok,
Right.
Hilux,
Definitely no surprises there.
Navara.
Dave, 450 kilometers, 10 incredible vehicles. You've had the opportunity to drive many of them. Anything that's a standout, anything disappointing for you?
The most impressive car that I had was probably the Peugeot. The Foton, also very, very nice. I felt a bit sluggish
Right.
on the highway, but it's a lovely, lovely, impressive vehicle.
So I'm chatting to Lucky, and I want to say I've been lucky to share this time with you. You've had the opportunity to drive many of these vehicles. Top three in order, what would you say?
It will be the D-Max,
Right.
and then the Hilux. The third one, it will be the VW Amarok, and
The man has got style.
that's a solid vehicle as well, yeah.
LJ, from the moment you got here, you've had an incredible smile on your face, and I absolutely love your personality. But driving 10 incredible Bakkies, it's easy to have a good personality. Anything that stood out for you?
It was Navara. It was,
Guys, I say it again, I'm not alone, I'm not alone.
number 2, it will be Isuzu, the D-Max.
Right.
My number 3, it was the Hilux.
If the Hilux doesn't make the top 3, you know the Hilux wasn't there. So Byron, you've had the opportunity to drive all of these vehicles. Byron is part of Driving Dynamics along with Grant. Everything that you see happening around us is because of you. Thank you so much. What has gone into putting a weekend like this together?
All the logistics that you guys put in to get all these vehicles.
Incredible.
It's incredible to have this amount of vehicles with us, and it's just an amazing feat that, you guys put together.
So somebody like myself, I have the pleasure of doing this for pleasure. Byron, you do this professionally. When you look at these vehicles, is there anything that you look at and you say, wow, I'm surprised it hasn't got this, or it does have this? Anything that stands out?
I generally look at recovery points on all the vehicles, because they are all 4x4s.
What is a recovery point in more
something that
detail?
Something that you're going to use to actually recover the vehicle when it gets stuck.
If another vehicle wants to tow it or wrench.
Or pull it or snatch it out.
Right.
One thing that generally all these vehicles lack are rear recovery points. However, it was pleasantly surprised on the P300. It's got front and back recovery points. That to me was wow.
Now, while we're talking about recovery, operating a winch, as an example, is dangerous. Is there anything that you can say to an amateur like myself?
Okay, one of my most important things, especially because most of the recoveries are done front, open up the bonnet. Your bonnet is a shield.
So I've always said, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen, knowledge is key. We're at the end of an incredible weekend, a weekend that will stay with me forever. Grant, 7:15 in the morning, beautiful sunrise behind us, 3 degrees, so they say. I think it's a lot colder. Your feeling?
Absolutely fantastic. What a privilege to have done this weekend with you. Thanks, Mike, and to be in this magnificent area. Absolutely fantastic.
So the $1 million question, does Grant see the world the same as me? Your top 3?
Been thinking about it hard, but my top 3...
In order, please.
Hilux.
Hilux first, okay.
Amarok second. And the one I really enjoyed was the Nissan Navara. For what it offers, and it's always been a quality brand. And I think it's a very underrated vehicle.
So I think the surprise for me, Grant, was the Navara. I knew the Navara was going to be my favorite. I've always liked the Nissan Navara. I thought it was going to match the Hilux, thought it was going to match the Amarok. I didn't think it was going to beat them. For me, clearly beat them. Then number 2 and number 3, you'll never guess. Any ideas?
I saw you hanging around the Peugeot Landtrek all weekend.
Absolutely. Now, the Peugeot Landtrek, 500,000 Rand. It looks good, it goes good. Is it a match for the Navara? Is it a match for the Amarok? Is it a match for the Hilux? No, it's not. But it stands out, great value. And the third one was a Foton. Absolute surprise there. Do you know what the Foton starts at?
$399.
Unbelievable. So remember, horses for courses. Is the Foton as good as the Navara? No, it's not. Is it half as good as the Navara? No, it's not. It's more than half as good. Another great weekend. Grant, you and the team, may you go from strength to strength.
Thanks very much, Mike.
We at All Things Motoring appreciate your support and interaction. And if you'd like to show some love to the show, head over to our website and click on the Fans of the Show tab. We would love to hear from you. Here is the Screen Top Tip of the Week. Polish your headlights. Foggy lights are sad lights. Visibility matters, especially when the road gets dramatic. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week on All Things Motoring, Mike kicks off our Festival of Motoring 2025 coverage, and Ernest revs things up at the Speed Classic, Cape Town. This is a show that puts the pedal to the storytelling metal.
The moment I got in this car and adjusted my seat, because everybody's got a different seating position, very, very low. I don't know how people drive like that.
Not low enough, and I'm on the lowest setting.
Was it 2 liters Coke? Yeah, it was 2 liter Coke, 1 liter brandy. Or was it what? Well, depending on who you ask, I suppose, because maybe you like it strong. Maybe you want 2 liters of brandy and 1 liter Coke. I don't know.
So, for the record, it's roughly 1 or 2 degrees outside. The floor is freezing, and I'm wearing the thinnest shoes. You do not understand. My feet are cold, and it's affecting my brain.
The Holden Monado, the Holden Lumina. Sorry.
Due to the extreme temperature, this is going to be a very short interview. Did you enjoy yourself?
Very enjoyable.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Need any motoring advice from where or what to buy or where to sell? Visit the All Things Motoring website and click on the Advice tab to ask Mikey. All Things Motoring is brought to you by ChangeCars and proudly working with SA's standout and leading buying service, WeBuyCars. WeBuyCars, the brand that wants your vehicle more than anyone else.